This is so, so good. Packed with flavor, Mediterranean feast, budget friendly. You have to make this. This Mediterranean feast costs just $4 per serving and is absolutely delectable. Seriously, nothing about this meal tastes budgety. We're going all out here with Greek chicken and chickpeas that get nicely crisp and caramelized in a cast iron pan. Homemade naan bread, tzatziki sauce, brings the flavor, and then a quick cucumber and tomato salad on top. Eating Mediterranean has been touted as one of the healthiest ways to eat. And as a dietitian, I get asked about the Mediterranean diet all the time. People want to know what it is and how to do it. So to help you get started, I created a quick guide to eating the Mediterranean way, which I will link to below. So come on in, join me in my kitchen, my happy place, and let's get cooking. We're starting with our whole wheat naan bread because it needs a little time to rise and do its bread thing. Naan bread is a flat bread that becomes the perfect vehicle for Greek chicken and chickpeas and all the toppings. And this recipe uses whole wheat flour for some extra fiber, but trust me, it's still light and very tender. 1.5 cups of warm water goes into your mixer, 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast, and then 2 teaspoons of honey. So I'm gonna mix this, we're gonna let this sit and get foamy and bubbly, and I'll show you what that looks like. Then we add everything else. It's been 4-ish minutes and you can see bubbles rising, our yeast has been activated. Now we can add the rest of our ingredients. In goes the olive oil, kosher salt, Greek yogurt, flours, 1.5 cups of whole wheat, 2 and 3. Ooh, made a mess on that one. Okay. Now let's thoroughly mix. For sure, keep your mixer on low, otherwise you will be covered in flour. Here, you really want to see it come together as one big old ball, which is what we have here. Now we're gonna cover, let it rise for 1.5 to 2 hours until it is puffy. It's gonna fill this whole bowl up. And then we'll know it's time to roll it out into our little naan breads. While our naan is rising away, this is the perfect time to mix up the marinade for our chicken and chickpeas. The beauty of this recipe is that it works for meat eaters and vegetarians, making it the perfect flexitarian meal. We'll mix up one marinade and then separate it into 2 bowls, one for the chicken, one for the chickpeas. This is also an excellent make ahead. Ideally, we allow this to marinate for at least an hour, but more time equals more flavor. So you could totally mix this up in the morning, pop it in the fridge, and then it's ready to just throw into the skillet and cook come dinner time. So let's get going. We need 1/4 cup of olive oil, right in, and then 1 whole onion. You can use a yellow onion or white onion, whatever you like. I've chopped it, and you can see just big chunks right in, and oregano to really give us that Greek flavor. We're actually gonna do 3 teaspoons. 2, 3, salt, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, fresh ground black pepper is key. Okay, now we're gonna clear the decks here because we need 4 cloves of garlic. And I'm gonna use my little garlic press and I give them a little whack. Take them out of the paper, go right into our press. And if you don't have a press, don't worry about it. Just mince it up with a knife. Just look at this. All that zest of juice, that is so much flavor. We'll dump it into our marinade. Okay, our marinade is mixed up, and then we have 2 cans of chickpeas that have been drained and rinsed. Rinse them to get any extra sodium stuff off. And then in my other bowl, I have chicken, about 2 pounds that have been cut into kind of 1-inch dice. So Half the marinade goes to the chicken, then I'm gonna dump the chickpeas right into this bowl, because who wants to dirty more dishes? Then they both get popped into the fridge to marinate for at least an hour. This is just eyeballing. Half. That's looking good. Chickpeas. Oop. We had one casualty. Smells lemony and garlicky. So good. Now I'm gonna cover, put them in the fridge, and keep going. Now for the tzatziki sauce. Tzatziki sauce is so good. You can use it as a dip for veggies, a spread for sandwiches. Today, it's a spread for a Greek chicken and chickpeas. This is another component you can make ahead, and honestly, the sauce gets more flavorful as it sits in the fridge. So I highly recommend you make it early and let it get even more flavorful. First thing, we need one whole cucumber. We're gonna set a towel over our bowl and grate our cucumber right onto the towel. Okay, now gather your towel and we're gonna wring out the liquid from the cucumber. And the reason we do this is if we didn't, I mean, look how much liquid there is there. If we didn't, it would make our tzatziki kind of watery. Okay, you can discard this or you can pour it into your water for a little cucumber infused water. All right. There is our shredded cucumber going right into our bowl. 2 cups of Greek yogurt. Go right in. 2 cloves of garlic. We need about 1.5 tablespoons of dill. Okay. And 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. A teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Now we mix. I'm telling you, the smell was so good, so fresh. Okay, I'm gonna cover this and pop it into the fridge until we're ready for our Mediterranean feast. This meal is all about building flavors, colors, and nutrients, and this tomato and cucumber salad is very quick to make and adds freshness and brightness to this meal. It's the perfect little topping. Now we'll make the quickest dressing ever. It's a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, again, those Greek flavors, 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a little black pepper, and then our veggies go in, and it's done. I like to take the seeds out of my cucumbers. They can be a little bit bitter. And with English cucumbers, not so much, which is what this one is. But I'm used to doing it. That's how my kids like it, so that's what I do. So seeds out, discard. Now we want bite-sized pieces. So 1/2 inch size. Because remember, this is going on top of our naan bread with the chicken and chickpeas. And then a little more dill. Get those stems out of there. There's one more stem. Get away. There we go. Give this a little chop. Thinly sliced red onion. Now you can omit this if you don't like onion. I find that red onion is a little bit sweeter, and when you slice it nice and thin like this, it goes really well, and it adds just a little zing to the dish. So that's going in. Here we go. Give it a toss. Oh my gosh, it looks like the colors of Greece. Oh, the Mediterranean. Yum, 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 yum. Our dough has risen nicely. Look at this. See how it kind of bounced back? The little flour. And this recipe makes 16 little naan breads. So we're gonna divide it up. Let's give it just a little love here. Okay. Got my trusty bench scraper, so I'm just gonna eyeball dividing it into 16. Now we roll. I highly recommend you enlist a helper to cook the naan while you roll. it is time to cook our marinated chicken and chickpeas. Heat your pans up over medium-high heat. We're putting a little olive oil down. Lots of olive oil in this meal, and that is a staple in Mediterranean cuisine. Oh, sizzle. You know what? I'm gonna switch to a separate spatula. We're dealing with raw chicken here. Spread it around. I'm just gonna tell you, it smells great already. We have a nice char on the chicken and the chickpeas. Look at that. It is ready to plate up. Now it's time to put it all together. Take your naan bread, set on your plate, and then I like to spread on tzatziki sauce first. The smells are so good. And then go for your toppings, whether it's chickpeas or chicken or both. And then a little of your tomato and cucumber salad. I love, love, love salty feta. A couple olives. Kalamata olives are the best olives, by the way. Now I like to fold it in half and then dig in. So good. Make this Mediterranean feast for your next dinner party or cook it just for your family so you can have the leftovers to yourselves. You can grab the recipes on thrivenutritionrdn.com, and of course, I will drop the links to them in the description below. And now, it's my time to dig in. Oh my gosh. It's so, so good. It's packed with bright flavor, fiber, protein, healthy fats, vitamins and minerals, and all the amazing flavors of the Mediterranean. You can absolutely make this Mediterranean feast to impress your friends or your family. I'm gonna keep going. Thanks so much for joining me in the kitchen today. If you want more budget-friendly Mediterranean meal ideas, comment MedMeals to let me know. And also for more budget-friendly ideas, check out my budget-friendly flexitarian meals video. The whole wheat air fryer bagel recipe will be a new staple in your life, I promise. So thanks again for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe for more recipes like these and nutrition tips. I'm gonna keep eating this deliciousness and get my boys and my hubby to dig in too, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive.